Hey, this is Photography Bonsai. In this video I'll be showing you the Sony A7 III. Thanks to Cameracraft in Rockford, Illinois for letting me try this out at their shop. Some of the notable features of this camera: 1/8000th of a second maximum shutter speed, and a boosted ISO of 50, which is very nice for landscape work. Flashing speed of 1/250th of a second is pretty standard for these level of cameras. The camera has an NP-FZ battery, which is new for many of their cameras of the A7 line. It basically has more power in it, so the battery will last longer. The camera does have 2 memory card slots, great for backup. I'm always a big fan of cameras that do have the dual slots. This camera has 4K recording, so you have very high resolution video, up to 30 frames a second, 100 megabits. You can also do 1080p video at 120 frames per second, which is very nice for slow motion video. It does have clean HDMI output. That basically means no stuff on the screen when it's outputting HDMI. And it has the S-Log formatting for higher dynamic range with your videos. Autofocus wise, 93% of the frame is covered by autofocus. You do have that phase detection on the sensor, so very quick autofocus. It's rated down to -3 EVs, all the way up to 20 EVs, so you have a big range of autofocus capability with this camera. It does have 693 phase detection points on the sensor, and it also has a few really interesting features like their eye autofocus. The in-camera stabilizer is rated at 5 stops, definitely very nice. It's 5-axis, but it does depend on the lens. So let's talk about handling of the camera. The body feels very robust, nice materials, nice solid hunk of a camera. The camera itself is a little thick, but that's probably due to the in-body stabilizer. The grip itself is good for this size of camera. They have definitely improved the grips on their A7 line. It's probably the best one that I've handled so far. The bottom plate has enough surface area to easily mount any type of tripod, any type of quick release. The port covers are easy to open and close. They get out of the way with no hassles. Very nice to see. The screen tilts up and down but does not fully articulate. I do think it's a missed opportunity, especially with this specific camera and Sony's lineup. SD cards are easy to access, nice dual card slot there, and very easy to use, no issues with that. The AF selection knob joystick is very nice to have, helps you quickly move the focal point. Ports wise, it is USB 3.1, so it's a very fast connection. It is Type-C. Also have a micro HDMI port, mic port, headphone jack, and a wireless shutter release. So definitely full of ports that you would need in many situations. There are a few negatives to this camera. I ran into the battery being depleted when I was testing out the camera at the shop. It wouldn't let me format the memory card. It wouldn't basically let me do anything, but I could still see the viewfinder, see the back screen as normal. It was a little odd, but just a very particular situation with a battery that was low charge. While trying to find the format feature of the card, I understand some people's frustration with Sony menus. It was difficult to find, but eventually I found it and could format the card, get started, take some photos. The touchscreen experience with this camera is not perfect. You can't go through the menus with the touchscreen. You can't go through the playback system with the touchscreen, but you can select focal point at least. So you do have some functionality with the touchscreen. Only one of the SD card slots supports UHS 2. When you can record 4K video, you can record high frames per second video. It would be nice to have both card slots the fastest type possible, but in this case you only have one. The viewfinder on this camera is lower resolution compared to the A7R III. Now it really depends on you if you care about a little pixelated look inside the viewfinder, but not really a big issue. So let's go over the positives of this camera. A large number of customizable buttons, 13 to be exact, so you can definitely get this camera working exactly how you would like it. It takes a little bit of effort, but once you're there, it should be very good to work with. This camera is very compact considering the level of performance that it has. The battery in this camera is significantly improved over the A7 II, so you have more battery life, you take more video, more photos without changing the battery. Considering the price of this camera, it is a very extreme value with all of the features, all of the functions, all of the speed. The image quality has a lot going for it. I do think the A9 was a turning point for Sony. Then you have the A7R III, and now you have the A7 III. But this is really a larger turning point because of the price and all of the features, all the functions to the camera. I've seen people get into the system now because they saw this camera, they saw the amount of functionality to it and the price point. So definitely a great camera to pick up if you are interested in that hybrid shooting. You want to do a lot of video, you want to do a lot of photos. This is a very good camera for that. It does fill so many needs. It's relatively inexpensive considering what you get, and it's relatively compact also considering what you get with performance. So that was the A7 III. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, thanks to Cameracraft for letting me check it out at their shop. Thanks again.